Welcome to Behind the Curtain IMO. I'm Betsy Jordan. At the Democratic National Convention, there were several notable people that showed up on that stage. Republicans, Democrats, independents alike were endorsing the policies of the Democratic Party, which include freedom, patriotism, a rebuilding of the middle class, freedoms of all kinds, reproductive freedom, economic freedoms. In the end, it was very clear. Those who were voting for Kamala and yet were stalwart Republicans were voting for Kamala because two reasons. One, they believe Donald Trump would be a very dangerous choice for our country. And number two, they believe that because Kamala is such a stand for the people and the Constitution, that voting for Kamala Harris is a vote for patriotism. Now, I heard that theme over and over and over again, and it is what I have seen in the aftermath of the convention. It is what I believe to be true. And that goes for everything in every arena, that the first priority is a building of our economy or a rebuilding of our economy in a way that fosters growth and a rebuilding of the middle class. Now, why is that important? There are so many people who are saying, she's a socialist, she's a Marxist, she's whatever. And, if there's one thing that I can get across here to people, and it matters, is quit isting ourselves. Quit making ourselves feminists, activists, capitalists, communists, anarchists. Quit labeling. We're all Americans. All right, we're all Americans, and we want our country to survive. That's what I believe about Americans anyway. That we all want our country to survive. And there are certain principles that we all really agree upon. Now, the benefit I have is no one's asking me questions. No one's asking me to give a 10-second or 5-second soundbite that they're going to take out of context. And so I end up spouting platitudes, etc. at you. I'm not going to do that. That's not what is happening here. What's happening here is I'm doing my best to take a thread of an idea and explain it and take it through its layers. So what was clear with January 6th is that there was a desire to not honor a fair and free election. The big lie that is being told by some prominent people has been disproven. In 60 plus different court cases, the election was upheld. When the insurrection happened on January 6th, the shouts to kill Mike Pence would turn your blood cold. There was a clear and present danger. Clear, present, and imminent danger. Capitol Police lost their lives. Some were beaten to within an inch of their lives with a flagpole. That could potentially happen again. But the lack of upholding the Constitution and upholding the fair and free election, Hillary Clinton was a good example of someone who did uphold what she considered to be a fair and free election because she wanted to support the peaceful transition of power. She saw our country so divided, even though she won 2 million more of the popular vote. And she was America's preference because of the Electoral College and because she knew the procedure. She knew that she had not won. And she accepted that with the most poise and grace of anyone. It breaks my heart a little for her. What we have in our former president is someone who thinks even if the election is not won by him, he's going to contest it. And so he's riling people up even now. And some of these people who spoke out in favor of Kamala and against Donald Trump, we're seeing that as a traitorous thing to do. So in standing for the peaceful transition of power and protecting our country, sometimes We have to go against our party, our political party. And our country's lost sight of that. But the Republican Party, some of those very stalwart leaders are saying, I do not want another term under that president because I do not want him to be commander-in-chief again. I do not want a kingdom in our country. And that is another clear and present danger. And it would be imminently executed should Donald Trump win the election. Make no mistake about it. That is what is happening, okay? I don't care what they say, how they change their minds about their positions, about what? Banning abortion, IVF, throwing everything back to states' rights, which leads to states having power to keep women in their state, and they can't get the kind of health care that they need. I'm telling you, Project 2025, we'll talk more about that later, but they want to get rid of no-fault divorce. Oh, they want to implement no-fault divorce, which leads to, and the reason we have it is it leads to marital rape, things like that. This is an undercurrent of we're going to establish policies against certain people who look a certain way, who are a certain way, who have a certain gender or have a certain cultural background. We're going to figure out a way to sideline them so that then all Americans all look alike and we're all under one religious umbrella. We have to stop this. It is not what our country stands for. Truly not. And there are a lot of foreign agents and foreign actors who really want us to fail. We want this wonderful, beautiful, beautiful experiment, which is the United States of America. They want us to fail, particularly Putin, but plenty of others. Listen behind the curtain. Listen to what is happening behind the curtain. Put on your thinking cap. Go, where did that phrase come from? What did that, instead of parroting, take a look. There is a nonpartisan film, I've referenced this before in an earlier video, but I want to say it again because it has just won an award from Amazon as being the #1 documentary that they've got out now. And it's called War Game Film. Not War Games, that's an earlier movie, but wargamefilm.com. Please go there. Please listen to it. It is a nonpartisan simulation where the circumstances of January 6th, they brought those up and they played a simulation game with people who are either retired security people, retired military, or not retired, still in action, but have had numerous very powerful positions within government and could have been involved in situations like this. So they understood their roles. They were given roles to play. And they set it up so that it was a situation room kind of experience for these people. And they gave them no playbook. They just said, this is the situation. And they were given circumstances that came up. Watch it, because so many things have been litmus tests or canary in the coal mine, right? Just to try to figure out if these things would work again. January 6th could happen again. We need to make sure it doesn't. Watching War Game Film will have you see just how important it is and what it means to be a patriot. This has been Behind the Curtain. Thank you for being here.